In Sage 50, you can set up jobs for each client. You can then track income and expenses for specific projects, including payroll hours or amounts. There are advantages to using jobs. You can purchase items specifically for a job. When you invoice the client, you can bill them for the purchased items. You can also run several types of reports on jobs. While all Sage 50 programs do include jobs, the flexibility and additional features like phases and cost codes are only available in Sage 50 Premium Accounting or higher. To set up a job in Sage 50 Premium Accounting, select Maintain, then Job Costs, and then Jobs from the menu bar. In Sage 50 Pro Accounting, you would just simply select Maintain and then Jobs from the menu bar. The Maintain Jobs window lets you set up jobs for customers. Let's take a look at the fields on the different tabs within this window. At the top of the window, start by entering a code for the job into the Job ID field. Then enter a description into the Description field. Then enter the actual start date of the job into the Start Date field. You can then enter a projected end date for the job into the Projected End Date field. After you have completed the job, be sure to enter the actual end date into the Actual End Date field for reporting purposes. You can then use the Job Status drop-down indicator to select the current job status. On the General tab, you can enter the supervisor for the job into the Supervisor field if applicable. Select the ID of the customer for whom you are performing the job from the For Customer field. Then enter the job address information into the fields available. Enter the job type into the Job Type field. Job types give you a way to classify jobs that you perform for reporting purposes. Enter the purchase order number from the customer for the job into the PO number field if applicable. As you complete the job, you can return to this screen to indicate what percentage of the job is complete in the % complete field. Notice that there is also a button for beginning balances for the job if you need to enter jobs when initially creating your company file. Next, enter the custom field values for jobs that you created within the Job Defaults window. Then click the Estimated Expenses/Revenues tab to enter the estimated expenses and revenues from this job. If you have created phases or cost codes and wish to enter expenses and revenues for the job by phases or cost codes, then check the Use Phases to Track Job in More Detail checkbox underneath the description field at the top of the window. Then click into the Phase ID column that appears and select the name of a job phase from the drop-down menu. If using cost codes, you can then select a cost code for that phase from the Cost Code ID column to the right of the Phase ID for that same row. You can then enter the number of units, expenses, and revenues that you expect to attribute to the selected phase and/or cost code. Then repeat this process in the next row until you have entered all of the necessary phases and/or cost codes for the job, as well as their associated units, expenses, and revenues. You can then enter any notes for the job into the Notes tab. Then click the Save button on the toolbar in this window when you are done.